I'm here in my kitchen with ingredients to make curry lamb. So right here I have about, I don't know, 5 heirloom tomatoes. I have some leftover celery. You don't really necessarily need celery. I'm just using it to get rid of it. I have a whole entire bunch of rainbow carrots. I have an onion, some garlic. I'm not going to use this whole head. I'm just going to take a couple of cloves out. I have some serrano peppers. I have my lamb. Right here I have some cayenne and some already prepared curry spice. I have my sea salt. I have a bunch of different herbs that I just bought yesterday, and I figured I'd just throw them in the mix. What is this? Ginger. Have my black pepper. And right here, if you like, I'm cheating today and using the curry powder because, you know, that's kind of the flavor that I'm going for with this lamb. However, if you want to make a more traditional type of curry and mix the spices yourself, you kind of use these in equal parts. Garam masala, turmeric, what is this? Coriander, and cumin. So you mix these in equal parts, you know, depending on how much vegetables or, you know, how big your dish is. You use these 4 spices to make traditional curry. And then, of course, you know, this is the base, and you add other things depending on what your taste or preference is. Okay, so let's get. Okay, so I have my herbs over here that I just took off the stems. Have my tomatoes, and I'm just going to cut these in half and then put them into my Vitamix. Right here I have my onions, garlic, 1 serrano pepper, and probably, I don't know, maybe about a 1/4 cup of fresh ginger. And over here I have my bunch of rainbow carrots, and then, like I said, the leftover celery that was in my refrigerator that I want to get rid of it. So now we're going to start sauteing. Okay, so in my Dutch oven, I have about maybe a tablespoon of some melted oil. You can use any oil that you like. Today I just happen to be using some red palm oil. So I have this, it's pretty much, it is melted. So I'm going to grab my my onions and my garlic mix. I don't really think this oil is that hot, but I guess it'll do. And I'm just going to dump this into here. Okay, it's hot enough, it's sizzling. And we're going to kind of get that going and heat it up. Okay? Okay, so I have my curry powder, and I sauteed my onion mix how I want. And so I'm just eyeballing this, you know, maybe like a tablespoon or so. You can use more, you can use less. And I'm just kind of giving that a really good stir. You know, getting that all up in there. I think maybe I'll probably, oops, trying to hold the camera with one hand and film this. So I really want to curry it up. And, oops, I have my cayenne pepper. Just a little bit of cayenne, not too much. And I have my black pepper. Okay, so, oops, you can do the spices how you want. So you see how that's like I'm scraping this off the bottom of the pan right here? That's just how I want it. So now I'm going to puree my heirloom tomatoes, and I'm going to add them to this pot. Okay, so I have my heirloom tomatoes just filled to the top in my blender. So I have it on variable speed because I don't want to like superfy it. So I just want to okay, so that's done. And now I'm going to add this to our sauteed onions. And okay, so here's I have a full container of tomato, and I'm just adding that in there. Okay, oops, and I'm dripping it as well. So my son, every time I put anything in the blender, he goes and gets a cup because he thinks it's smoothie. So he is not going to be happy about drinking pureed heirloom tomato. Go ahead. You gonna drink it? Of course, he's smelling it like, oh, mommy, why does it smell like that? Right, because that's mommy's heirloom tomato mix. So I'm just stirring it now. You don't have to use tomatoes that you puree yourself. You know, you can just use tomato sauce, you know, in a jar. But I kind of like really the freshness of using, you know, fresh tomatoes. So now you see I didn't add all of it because what I want to do is I want to put my lamb in here and kind of let that cook for a minute. Because I don't want it to be, I'm not making soup, so I don't want it to be soupy. I just want to cover it enough to help cook my lamb. So let me get that and add this to the pot. Okay, so I have my lamb, and I'm just going to pick it up and just put it in here. No, I haven't pre-seasoned the lamb or anything like that, because that's like what the sauce is for. It's cooking in the sauce is going to be seasoning enough. So what I'm going to do is I have my heat on like medium high. So I'm going to get my little lid right here. Well, it's not a little lid, it's actually quite heavy. And I'm going to cover it, and I'm going to let this kind of cook down for about 20 minutes, and then I'm going to check it and then turn it down to low. Okay, so it's been about 20 minutes, and you can see that my lamb is nice and bubbly. So I'm just going to turn this down to low, and you can see I did not need a lot of water at all. So I'm just turning this over. Oops, well, I'm trying to turn it over with one hand, and I'm like splashing stuff everywhere. So now I have some herbs that, oh, I'm not going to be able to grab the herbs with one hand. Let me see. So I got my handful of herbs that I'm throwing in there. Oh, if I could, okay. I'm trying to pull my cutting board forward. Oh, okay. My husband came over to my rescue. So I'm putting the rest of my herbs in there. So you don't have to use herbs. I just do, like when I run out of, I buy fresh herbs and then I dry them out. I use what I need and then I dry them out. So right here I have my celery. And my my rainbow carrots that I'm just dumping this all, well, I'm trying to. I'm just throwing this all in the pot. The noise in the background are my kids eating some yummy indigenous fruit that I can't remember the name of, chim something, from Mexico that we got at our favorite grocery store. So I got this, just the last little bit. Oops, sorry, but I'm holding this with one hand and I probably should be using my tripod. So I'm just kind of giving this a, you know, just to kind of get the herbs and the stuff down in there. Now you see it's not really doing the rumbling boil now, which that's fine. So you can add a little bit more sauce, tomato sauce, if you want to, but I don't really think it's necessary because all this stuff is just going to cook down, which is, you know, what you want. It's kind of more like a stew versus a soup. So I'm just reaching over here for my lid. This is what it's looking like. I'm going to cover this baby up and then check it in probably maybe about 30 to 40 minutes. Okay, so I just took the top off, and as you can see, oops, our lamb is coming along nicely. So it looks like I really don't need that extra tomato sauce or the extra pureed tomatoes that I put together. So I actually kind of had turned this up a little bit, but I think I'm going to turn it back down. So I didn't turn it up to like high, but just it was on like super low. But I'm going to turn this back down. It's looking great. So it's, of course, it's not ready yet. You see it's like really boiling and it smells delicious. So I'm going to turn this back down again. Oh, you can't see the fire because I have the sun coming here. And we'll go. Okay, so I am back in the kitchen and the lamb has been cooking along very nicely. So I'm just kind of like, you know, turning it over to, you know, make sure that it's cooking evenly. I said it's probably been about another 45 minutes since the last time we checked it. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to, and it's like it's starting to, you know, see that come off the bone. So it's pretty much done. So what I'm going to do is just add a bit of sea salt to it and let it cook for about another 30. Okay, here is the finished product. I just took some out of the pot. So like the meat bones from the lamb are like still sitting in like the broth. It's pretty much my family's already eaten. So it's pretty much gone. And it was a big hit. That's some sauteed cabbage I have over there on the side. And it's just over a nice bed of brown basmati rice. So hope you enjoy.